Hey everybody, welcome to me and Armani's YouTube channel. I'm Rain and this is Armani. So in this video today, I'll be giving y'all a story time on being pregnant at 14, and I'll also be discussing my labor and delivery with you guys. Also, I'll insert some pictures and videos. Okay, so one day, I think it was December 28th, I'm not sure, but I know it was right after Christmas. I was with my boyfriend's house and, we was just doing things like being teenagers or whatever. So one thing led to another.
Yeah, alright.
So after that, I'm on my way home and I'm texting him and I'm making sure he didn't do anything to get me pregnant, and he's like, no, he know what he was doing and stuff. So I'm like, all right. So I just dropped the conversation. So a couple weeks later, I started having these pregnancy symptoms. Like, I'll be nauseous, I'll have headaches and stuff. I'll eat food that I did not like to eat, stuff like that. So this how I knew something was up when my period didn't come, because me and my sister's period usually is on the same day. When my period didn't come down, that's when I started to think, like, what if I really am pregnant and I'm having all these pregnancy symptoms? So it just added up. So I told Terry, we talked about it. Terry is my boyfriend, by the way. That's my baby dad. And I was telling him I'm having pregnancy symptoms, my period didn't come down and stuff. So he was just telling me that it's going to be okay. He's just trying to cheer me up and stuff. So I done already told him. So I'm like, I should just tell my mom. I did not want to tell her, because what if it was just a pregnancy scare? I wasn't really pregnant and my period probably was just late. Like, I was scared. I did not want to tell her. That's why I never mentioned anything about me and him having sex. I never mentioned anything about being on birth control, because I was scared. And I didn't want her to be like, oh, you won't have sex, you trying to be fast and stuff. Like, you know how parents be. Alright, so the same exact day when I told Terry, later on that day, I went to tell my mom, and I was like, Mom, my period didn't come down. She was like, okay, what that's supposed to mean? She knew what it meant, but she just didn't want to think I was pregnant. So I was like, Mom, you know what it mean? Like, so she was just like, so you think you're pregnant? I was like, yeah. And she was just talking to me about it. And to be honest, she handled the situation better than I thought she was going to. My dad, when I told my dad, he was mad. At first he thought I was playing, but when he saw I was crying, then he knew I was not playing. But my dad was mad. He walked out the room. He did not want to talk. Like, he was mad, bro. But, they got over it. I told Terry's mom. We done all talked about it and stuff. And, yeah, that was about it after that. After that happened, later on that day, like that night, we went to the dollar store and got a pregnancy test. I got back home, I took the pregnancy test. And the pregnancy test came back positive, which I knew was going to happen. Because, come on now, I knew I was going to be pregnant because my period was late. My period is never off. It's always on time. Like, so I knew I was pregnant when my period was late. A couple weeks after I took the pregnancy test, my mom scheduled me an appointment. I went to the doctor. The doctor said I was pregnant. I think I was three or 5 weeks when I went to the doctor. At first, he told me my due date was going to be October 2nd, I think. Then after that, they told me my due date was going to be September 28th. Then I got induced September 21st. So my original due date was September 28th, but I got induced on September 21st. Once I found out I was pregnant, that's when the symptoms really started coming. Like, I would throw up. To be honest, I never really threw up like that, so I'm lying. I only threw up one time throughout my whole pregnancy, like only one time, because I'm the type of person that when I have to throw up, I'll keep swallowing my spit so it won't come up, because I hate throwing up. Like, bro, that is so nasty. I hate throwing up, so I would keep swallowing my spit. But I did not have an appetite. Food, like the smell of food was so nasty to me. Like, some things my mom would cook, it would just give, like, the smell would stink. Like, it'll make me nauseous or whatever. So I couldn't really eat like that. I didn't have an appetite. As months went by, it started to get better. So then finally, I had my gender reveal. I'll insert the pictures. I had my gender reveal. Well, I didn't have a maternity shoot or a baby shower because of COVID. So I didn't do none of those things. But I did have a gender reveal. It was fun. I'll insert the pictures and videos or whatever. Alright, so months went by after that. Then it was time for me to get induced. I got induced September 21st. I was starting to get ready at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I was already up by 10 o'clock. I think I made it up the road to the doctor around 12. So I got checked in around 12 at the doctor. The man came to me in a wheelchair. We went all the way upstairs. I don't know what floor we was on. But they took me to the labor and delivery room. It was probably like honestly don't know what time it was. The day went by so fast, bro. So first they made me take a shower. They gave me some type of gel, some type of soap in a pack. After that, they came give me my IV and stuff. They kept track of Armani's heartbeat. They kept track of the contractions and stuff like that. I think 8 o'clock is when I started to get my contractions. I was looking at the clock. I think it was 8 o'clock. I'm not sure. So they started off, you know, just as like, you know, mild cramps at first, like mild period cramps. And then after that, they got worse. Like, when they tell y'all contractions hurt, bro, when they tell y'all contractions hurt, that is not no joke. Like, contractions hurt bad, bro. Before I start to get contractions, the lady told me to call her if I need medicine to ease the pain or whatever. So when I started to get the contractions, I had called. I was like, I need medicine. My contractions is getting bad. So she was like, okay. Before I even told her about the medicine, before I asked her about the medicine, they came and gave me a Cervidil. I think that's what it's called. Cervidil. Is it? Basically, it's like some type of little thing. They put it in you like a is it? Yeah. They inserted it inside you like a tampon. I think it's made out of plastic. I don't know. It's so uncomfortable. Feel like it kept sticking me. Like, it's so uncomfortable. But they gave that to me to induce my labor. Once she put that in me, like, instantly the contractions started coming. Like I said, they started off mild and they got worse. So that's when I called her. After my contractions had got worse, I had called her and I told her that I needed medicine. I called the lady at the desk and I was like, can you tell my doctor I need medicine? My contractions is getting bad or whatever. After that, she came and put oxycodone, I think that's what it's called, oxycodone in my IV. It put oxycodone in my IV to like ease the pain, but that did not help. All that stuff there would make me drowsy and tired. Honestly, it made me feel like I was high, bro. Like, it was a weird feeling. So my contractions was still bad. I still felt the contractions. So after that, I'm just laying down, you know, turning on my side. It hurted so bad. So after that, I told her that I need the epidural because the contractions hurted so bad. I was like, I can't take it no more. And she was like, I have to check you to see how far you're dilated. I think you have to be dilated 5 or more centimeters in order to get the epidural. I didn't want to let her check me because that's uncomfortable. Like, that's just all so aggravating. Like, why can't you just give me the medicine right now? She checked me and she was like, the baby is right there. So I'm like, what? So that's when they done called the people, let them know that I needed my epidural and stuff. The people taking all day with the epidural. So a couple minutes after that, felt like I had to poo. So I'm like, Ma, I gotta poo. I'm telling my mom because I'm not even worried about the doctors in the room. I'm like, Ma, I have to poo. And the lady was like, no, you don't have to poo. It's just the baby. That's the baby. The baby's about to come. I was like, the baby about to come. Girl, I got a shit. Like, let me go to the bathroom. And it was like, no. She was like, just try to hold it and all that. So I'm like, bro, you serious? So, like, I was trying to hold it, but it was like pushing itself out, bro. Like, it felt like I was pooing. It felt like a big ass turd was coming out my private part and my ass at the same time. Like, I don't know, felt like I was shitting out a big ass turd, but it hurted. Like, it was uncomfortable. A couple minutes went by and then water had broke. It exploded everywhere, bro. Like, I felt it pop. Like, it popped. It made a pop noise, bro. It was so weird and funny, but it was nasty at the same time. So, like, the stuff really exploded everywhere. So that's when my doctor had came in, and he was like, it's time for me to start pushing. It was already late. I couldn't get the epidural. So yes, I did go natural. And I already started pushing and stuff. I pushed probably like 6 times, and after that, the baby was out. Pushing the baby out doesn't hurt. I think it's just the contractions, but your mind don't even be on the contraction when you pushing the baby out. You just want it to be out the way. So after that, Armani was here. I was so happy, like, but I was so tired. Like, I really couldn't bond with her how I wanted to because I was so drowsy and tired. I don't know if it's because of the medicine or it was really just a workout because I did not, bro, I couldn't. Like, I was so tired and exhausted. So they came, put Armani on my chest. I kissed her and I hugged her and stuff. Then they took her back to clean her off. After that, they had to stitch me up because I had tore a little. So they stitched me up. When they were stitching me up, I didn't feel anything because I guess they numbed it first. I didn't feel anything. I was just laying back, letting them do their job. I was tired. I was not worried about none of that. So after they got finished doing that, they put me on this little thing I had to stand up on. I guess I couldn't sit down because I had stitches. So I had to stand up on this thing, and the lady had to push me on it. She pushed me into the other room where I was sleeping. So I went up in there. I was holding her mind, feeding her stuff. They came up in there every 3 hours to check my blood pressure, and they came to bring me my baby bottle so I could feed her. They gave me medicine and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. So now I'm about to talk about what it's like being a teen mom. Honestly, it depends on what kind of baby you have. Like, if you have that baby that stay up every night crying, then it's gonna be hard. For me, it was kind of hard in the beginning because Armani was that baby that would be up crying some nights, like every night. And one night she cried the entire night, and that was so aggravating. Oh my god, she was up crying all night, bro. Like, but you know, as they get a little bigger, it'll get better. Like, after that, now she's only 3 months and she sleeps through the night. That's good. But in the beginning, I had on a time schedule when I wake up every 3 hours to feed her. But now she sleeps through the night. I don't have to wake up. So now it's easy, but in the beginning it was hard, but it gets better. Alright, y'all, so that was it for this video. That was my story time on being pregnant at the age of 14 and having Armani at 15. My baby is now 3 months, and y'all, she is bad. But you know, like I said, things got better, and now it's not that hard. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And for the teenage moms that's out there, you're not alone. And just watch videos like I did when I was pregnant, trust me. Because I was embarrassed at first until I started watching videos, and it made me feel much better. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video.